2, 1. Okay.
EJ, good morning.
Morning, Miss Diane. Nice to see
Yes.
you.
Well, yeah, nice to see you too. Well, EJ, I know you woke up to the news of PATAFA that said that they were recommending that you be taken out of the national team. I mean, how did that make you feel when you saw that?
I mean, first it was the question of what's gonna happen now? Why am I even here? Am I gonna be able to compete? What is going on, and what are their grounds? As they said, I haven't. How can an investigation be concluded not hearing my side? And yeah, but I'm not really shocked. I think I was more dumbfounded when I hear the news because, as I said, I woke up into it yet again without any notice, without any letters or any like, oh, you've been dropped, like any formal letter first. It was first the media press conference before anything else. So yeah, I'm confused,
Okay.
confounded mostly.
So you said in your statement that you're super sad, of course, to be taken out by your NSA. And just a few days ago, I had reported you had jumped the third highest in 2021, 5.93. I mean, for this to be, for this to happen to you, what emotions? What did you do first?
I brushed my teeth, to be honest. That's the first thing I did. Yeah, but kidding aside, I'm really I'm really more on, I don't feel much emotion. I don't know if that's I'm being a broken person now, or I just feel like I exist, but I don't really feel that very, how do you say, I feel like this is already where it was going to when I received the email. And it felt like this is what was the intention in the first place, and how can I say? I think I got that planted in my head already that the path is gonna remove me.
So you were expecting it because you said you weren't surprised. Were you expecting that?
Not expecting. I didn't really think that it's gonna go this far. As I said, having me out of the team and not be able to compete with the Philippines due to their non-endorsement, as always. Same with the liquidation, non-endorsement. So really, it's just dumbfounded. Like, how can this thing go this far?
Yeah. Now, what about Vitaly? I'm sure you told him about it. Can we know what his reaction was? Because the PATAFA also plans to file a complaint to the World Athletics body about him, saying that he because of his retracting his earlier statements. What was his reaction?
I mean, first he didn't understand. He's like, "What are they filing against me?" They said, he was saying, they said that they acted because of my complaint.
Yeah.
But then, now that I clarified what happened, I'm being charged by something. It's just like, in my opinion, just because the retraction or whatever statement that they made was not pro what they're doing, suddenly they need to charge to file a case to the coach. I think that speaks for itself.
Yes. Now, it also said that it would no longer continue with his contract to train you. So, are you still training with Vitaly? And what did you tell him? What did he say to you?
The people who know me in Italy and see how our relationship works and how our dynamic kind of works is, it's very simple. We train, I trust him, he trusts me. I trust him with my life. He trusts me with the decisions I make. And we're literally like a family. When I need money, I go to him. When I have issues, not just with track, with life, I go to him. He's more of a father than a coach. now, in especially in this time, you know,
Yeah.
I'm struggling training, but he understands it. As a coach, he would be frustrated having this. He is, don't get me wrong, but you know, he still trains me. And
Yeah, so that's good. So he will continue to train you, and I guess he hasn't been paid lately. But the POC says that they will be looking for funds to support your training. And have there been other patrons like Jim Lafferty, perhaps, or other people who have offered to help you with your training expenses there?
I think there's a bunch of people that were sending me a couple of funds, and they're trying to help me out. You know, at least I even got a message. You know, this is a small amount. Just sending you this. You know, just to get by. Maybe you can buy me a couple of things about this. You know, this kind of things, and this makes my heart, you know, melt. It's very heartwarming seeing the regular Filipino people actually helping me out in the best way that they can, and that just shows the love that they have for me, and I cannot ever repay that, and I cannot ever appreciate it.
Yes.
And people are helping, you know, they're getting involved. My good time friend and longtime mentor Jim, of course, is helping out, but it's gonna be a funny relationship when you realize that he's main how do you say, his main relationship started as a sponsor, and now I don't even want to ask him money because it's not really sponsorship that I'm with Jim. You know, it's more of like really mentorship in the way he just shows me how things
Yes.
kind of work. You know, yeah.
So it's good to hear that Vitaly is going to stay with you and keep training you.
Yeah.
Okay, and now hearing that the Philippine Olympic Committee immediately said, President Bumble, that they will find a way to enter you in the tournaments that normally would require NSA endorsement. So that's the SEA Games and the Asian Games. Are you still up for that if the NOC, if the POC can enter you for the Philippines?
Of course, of course. You know, that's the main reason why I'm still fighting this, is to fight for the Philippines and compete for the Philippines and hopefully win some medals along the way. And it's always a privilege to wear this vest and to wear this Philippine flag on your chest, you know. It's a different kind of feeling. And I'm very thankful that the POC is gonna fight for it. And I really just appreciate that. And that keeps some of the blows that PATAFA threw today a little bit less of a hard hook, more of a slight jab.
Yeah. So EJ, I cannot imagine the emotions going through it now, but on a day-to-day basis, how are you? Are you able to train? How many hours are you training? I mean, can you talk us through that? Like how difficult this is? Because you're preparing for the first season for the year after the Olympics, you jumped your highest, then you made the decision you're gonna try for Paris. And then I know your first tournament starts on the 28th of January. So how are you able to train on a day-to-day basis? Can you tell us?
Yeah. I mean, I'm training. I'm not training the way I should be training. And it's not a secret that I'm not in the shape that I should be. I think everybody who knows what's happening understands the toll that this is doing to anyone, more
Yes.
so an athlete. So, you know, there are times I need to skip training because I need to do a couple of things. And there are times I need to focus, and there are times I need to answer phone calls. And there are times I'm just really lost. Like I can't function as an athlete because I'm way too lost as me.
Yes.
So I'm really trying my best to get this thing going and still perform hopefully decently amidst this witch hunt that
Yes.
that is.
Yeah. So have there been any countries now that have reiterated their offers to you, saying that, you know, this they probably saw the news that you that the PATAFA is going to drop you? And would you ever do that? Would you ever jump for another country?
You know, there's definitely people already told me, you know, like, well, technically they release you now, so you know you're free to go. They dropped you.
Mm.
You're free to go. So that thing is going, but I said the same. You know, if I second guess myself and my reason why I'm competing for Philippines, I'm probably gonna lose it. It's the same way I approach the whole thing. If I second guess my chances of making that bar, I'm probably not gonna make that bar. If I decide, oh, this pole is too big and not gonna be landing on the pit, when I think that, I'm probably not gonna land on the pit. You know, when I second guess that, I need to be firm and I need to be solid in my head, and my reason is very clear and it's still living. I still have a way to represent the Philippines, and that's worth fighting for. That's why I'm still here.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So so countries have actually told you, oh, you're technically free to go. That's true, no? But it's
Yeah.
and I'm sure you can see comments of netizens, you know, saying, EJ, we're gonna lose you to another country. But it's good to hear that you say that you're going to keep fighting to be able to fight for the Philippines, right? Because that's what you want to do.
Yes, Miss Dana.
Okay, what about the Philippine? Are you worried about your, like, where you're gonna get your support? Like, you know, you're gonna be having to travel in January to how many tournaments are you supposed to? How many tournaments in the upcoming season, EJ?
So, with this, everything that happened, you know, I'm not even sure how many competitions I'll be able to compete at. Not to mention just the funding itself. This thing actually blew up, I think, November 15, right? When I received those two letters. And they said that they stopped funding, but funding was stopped not that time. It was August. It was August 31. That's it. That was the last time I received funding. It
Okay.
wasn't 15. So I'm
So since
really,
August, yeah, go ahead.
yeah, basically I've been really trying to find a way to make it work. And I'm not gonna lie if I said I can sustain this. I'm not I'm not rich. I'm not capable of doing all of that. So I don't know how far I can go. And right now, the financial part is definitely a worry. But I think more of my worry is just being able to train, and the key factor in my job to be able to do that. And when, it's not a matter of how, it's a matter of when this financial thing would actually hinder me for training, then I think that's the biggest time for me to kind of worry about it. There's way too much accusations being thrown around and my hands are literally full.
Yeah, so very hard for you to concentrate, right?
Yeah.
You have so many things hanging on your head where you're going to get your funding. So you will, I guess, with this now, the only way you're going to be able to continue is if you get, I guess, private sponsors, because we haven't really heard from the Philippine Sports Commission. Have you?
No, I haven't heard from Philippine Sports Commission regarding my, I don't know if it's recommendation or drop. I
Yeah.
don't, yeah, I don't even receive
Okay.
any letter. So,
Okay. What about President Bambol? Has he spoken to you since yesterday? Did he assure you personally na tutulungan ka namin, suportahan ka namin?
so I've read the articles. I haven't talked to Kombambo personally, but I'm very thankful for his support and just having that integrity to say, you know, we'll fight for the Philippine sport and we'll fight to make sure that you're in those meets. That means a lot for me coming from the Philippine Olympic Committee president, and I
Yeah.
really just thank you. You know, thank you.
Okay, just going back to a few things that the PATAFA has said led to your dismissal is that they said, first of all, you failed to attend. They invited you 3 times to a meeting to explain, and you didn't show up.
Well, if I remember correctly, we asked a couple of things before we actually submit ourselves to those investigation or administrative committee, due to the fact that we don't even know what I'm being charged of. And I mean, just based on those letters, we clearly see how impartial those committee are. And it's, I wouldn't say I ignored it. You know, we asked questions and we did try to take part into it. We weren't really given the fair treatment. And I wouldn't say that we were given the fair, how do you say, platform to kind of share our evidences, which we have
Yeah.
already sent to,
They all
you know.
they also said that they had asked you if you could send the bank account of Mr. Petrov so that they could pay him directly. That was one of the things that they asked for. Is that true?
Yeah, they did ask me back in June of 2020, and I provided it. I think June 2020. I'm not entirely sure, but it was not this year. They asked me last a few years ago, maybe, but I did give it to them. I did, and
Okay.
I'm sure I did. And
Okay. So
yeah,
you gave it to them and then you asked if they could just pay him directly.
yeah, I'm certain I gave it to them. I can say that I'm certain I gave PATAFA Vitaly's bank accounts at least 2020, from my understanding.
Okay. What about the charges against your mom? What can you say about that?
They know where it hurts, you know. I care for my mom, and my mom is not even involved in any of this. I have no idea why she's even involved. I don't even fully understand how is it possible for her to get money from PSC.
Mm.
I have no idea. First of all, PSC released checks, and those checks are under my name or PATAFA's, and those are the only way it kind of works. They're not gonna release my check to my mom because she's my mom. I'm of legal age. The same conversation I had with Mr. Rico. Like I said, you know, if you have issues with me, you have my phone number. You can call me. You know, we can talk like two adults that respect each other. And I have no idea why my mom is involved, and I have no idea what exactly it is. And did she get due process again before getting that? I maybe did not take part, but my mom is not me. So
Mm.
I don't know if she got asked to clarify that, or they just actually throw that again as accusation publicly yet again.
Okay. What about them saying that you held on to the money and only paid bitterly, I think, a year or two later than when you had received the funds?
I don't think I would hold payments unless it arrived ahead of time. I think that's the only reason. And as I said, you know, I liquidate every November, and that's how I process payments. And it's not like I did it this year. You know, it's not like it's only this year that I paid November. No, this is last year. It's the same. Why November? Simple. This is my off season. That's the day that I don't have 8 hours of training, traveling 5 countries in 1 week, and worrying about my post. That's the only time I worry about, okay, what paperwork do I actually need to get done? And
Yeah.
those are the look, what exactly should be paid, what exactly should not be paid, what exactly am I owing people?
Yeah. EJ, can you tell me what Vitaly has told you, knowing what you're going through right now? Like,
His
what did he?
recommendation,
What did? Yeah. What is he? What did he say to you?
just don't think about it, you know, just said like, what else is there to prove? That's what you said, you know, you've said everything, I've said everything, and what is there to prove? Money was not paid, money is paid. And I think all the other accusations that they're saying, it's only Vitaly who can actually say if that's, how do you say, if that's actually true or not. And Vitaly just said to
Yeah.
me this, you know, you're worrying about this way too much. I said, you know, it's my name. It's me. It's not like I can just leave it to my lawyers and
Yeah.
let how many chances do I give a man to throw false accusations? How many chances do people get to throw that? And yeah, I feel
Yeah.
it's sad, you know, it's sad. And as much as I'm a
E-
little bit pissed,
yeah, go ahead.
yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just saying, like, as sad as I feel pissed, I feel sad as well, Mr. Huito. This is a guy I used to, you know, really do convey and really do talk to. And I don't know what happened. Something went wrong. Reputations, ego, and other intentions than the Philippine sports came into play, in my opinion.
If yeah, you're saying that all the accusations are false. What would you have any idea what why he's doing this to you? Why? What is the motive behind it? I mean, you're a top jumper in the world.
I don't think it's as simple as I said, you know, he doesn't like me or something. We had a lot of different, um, how can I say this? Different disagreements, let's just say that. And
Mhm.
some are sponsorship that, you know, that he needs to be involved in some deals. And, you know, some are with my psychologist, that my psychologist was forced to break doctor-patient confidentiality and a lot of the other
Mm.
things. So it's
Yeah.
very it's 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 very broad. It's like in my humble opinion, of course, I believe that this is all cover up, like financials. This is a cover up. This is not what is driving this. There's something deep down there, and until everything is kind of clear up, you know, it's only whoever initiated this can actually answer.
Mm. So EJ, your coach hasn't been paid since August, I guess. Since August 31, September,
Actually,
October, November.
contrary, I think he received a payment directly to PATAFA. I believe like November.
Sorry, say
I'm
that
not,
again.
I think he received payments from PATAFA like November.
Ah, he
I'm not,
did.
not entirely sure. Don't quote me on this. I don't
Yeah.
even get it. You know, I can ask.
Okay. So EJ, finally, what would you like to say to the Philippines, perhaps, and all the people who are, you know, watching your story and seeing what's going, and what would you like to say to other athletes, other Filipino athletes?
You know, to everyone who's been following and supporting me along the way. I really appreciate you guys more than ever, because right now I feel you're the last straw, the reason why I fight for the country. Why do I fight this system? Why do I fight this ever seems so non-ending witch hunt? And I really appreciate you guys, and really heartwarming, and really thank you for all those good messages and those support. I can never repay that. And thank you. Really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And to all the other athletes, I mean, I hope whatever happened is happening to me never happens to you guys. And I hope that it never comes a day that you need to be defending your name to false accusations like how I am doing now. But as athletes, you know, we abide by the Olympic stature, and our word is our bond, and our action is our reflection. That's integrity in itself. You know, sports is governed by fair play, integrity, honesty, and all of these characters. And I believe we just need to stick to them. And I think as athletes, we know them
Yeah.
better than anyone.
So EJ, what's your next move? What's going to be your next move?
I think my lawyers can actually tell that more into it. I'm really trying to stay away from it, taking Vitaly's advice, you know, go back to training, not dwell on it so much, and really just squeeze myself dry. And so I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to still be able to compete, and the main reason I'm fighting this is so I can compete. So if I can't, then why even fight it? Why bother?
Yes. So your lawyers will be making the next move.
Yeah, from my understanding, they know they're planning.
Okay. And should you be in shape for the competition, for the next competition? What would that be on January 28th, and where would that be?
So the plan is to start competing in 28. That will be in Karlsruhe, Germany. That
Yes.
is a indoor tour. That's actually where I broke the national record last year in indoors. So that's really, it's a good place. It's a special place in my heart. So hopefully I start the year as well as I started it last year, and I ended it last year as well. So, but maybe better in competitions like Tokyo.
And then after the Germany, you still have how many tournaments supposedly lined up?
So I'm supposed to do 5 meets before I believe Asian indoor. But that's still now in question. So, and after that I have the World Indoor Championship in March. So I hope I can get to compete there and have that fighting chance to win a medal for the country.
And normally the World Indoor would require an endorsement from the NSA, right?
That's the
Or no?
problem. I don't really know how that exactly works, and I don't even know how exactly endorsements actually works. I'm really sorry. I have no
I,
idea.
I mean, do you sign up yourself, or it's PATAFA who sends the entry?
So there's qualifying standards. So I'm not sure how that works.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Have you gotten any messages from your other friends like Tiago or the other guys that you compete with?
So one guy said to me, "This is because you're very outspoken. You might be right, but you might be very outspoken. You might be right. Might be right, but you know, I learned it from my coach. I learned it from my sport, and I learned it from competing day in, day out. That when I see wrong, why not speak up? It's the same
Yes.
thing I had in the Olympics.
What would be your request right now to, let's say, PATAFA, the POC, PSC, or to?
I think it's not my place to say what they're supposed to do. So my only opinion is do what's right and do what's best for the sport and do what's best for the country and nothing else. And I think when that's in play, I think it's very clear what should be done and what should be prioritized.
Okay. Have you been able to sleep, EJ?
I'm going to bed after this.
Yeah.
I'll
Thank,
I'll
thanks. Thanks for your time. Jill, you can stop recording now.